We're in the 2008 Audi R8, and it is the only car I have never been able to actually sell. I've tried to sell it, couldn't do it, returned a deposit back to a buyer. It's a car that I can't sell. It's a car that you can't sell, and I'm going to explain in this video why. One of the reasons is because it sounds so good. Love this car. If you guys have been following me on the channel, I had this car for almost 4 years now, and it's been one of the most reliable, daily driven supercars money can buy. Number one, I've fallen in love with this car from the looks. Obviously, it came out in the Iron Man movies. That's when this car was introduced, and Audi really hit it out of the park with their first generation supercar. Exterior looks. The first thing you do when you look at this car, it looks absolutely timeless. And when people ask me, hey, Canadian rider, would you sell this car? What would you get? I'm always at this weird predicament where I can't see another car out in the market, regardless of the price bracket, that makes me fall in love with the looks like this car. This car is just beautiful, timeless. I made videos on this before. You guys are seeing some shots now. It's one of the most beautiful cars ever created. Truly a classic. Audi hit it out of the park with this. On the exterior styling, everything, the flows of the lines, the beautiful LED lights, the curvature of the hood, the side blade, very unique. All of these things came together, plus a lot of the mechanical capabilities of this car to make a beautiful, well-rounded car. And speaking of being well-rounded, it's beyond just the exterior, it's all of the package pieces in this car. The 4.2 liter V8 engine, revving to over 8,000 RPM. The 6-speed gated manual transmission. The magnetic ride suspension, which, by the way, I actually replaced with BC Racing coilovers because the magnetic ride suspension actually has a fatal flaw, which you can check out in my other videos. But right now, I've had some new spring settings on this car and I actually really enjoy it. I'll be making a video of that coming up. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me along on this journey and the journey of this Audi R8. But mechanically, the transmission, the magnetic ride suspension, the mid-engine configuration of this car, the cockpit orientation. I just love the seats. I love everything about how the driver's situated in this cockpit. All of it really comes together to provide an awesome track experience, daily driver experience, anything you want to do from getting from point A to point B, whether you're going to the grocery store or if you're going to the track, this car does it exceptionally well. And I've had the pleasure of driving this car for 4 years, taking it out to Costco and to Walmart and going to Bowmanville or Canadian Tire Motorsport Park and ripping it on the track. And this car does handsomely in all of those different environments. Right now, where am I going? Because the trusty Lexus IS250 is not in my possession today. Going out to a birthday party. I'm driving this thing to Toronto to go out for some dinner. I can do that with this car. And it's great in terms of being able to get you from point A to B, gives you enough capacity and storage to bring, honestly, whatever you need with you. And it's a lot of fun. I just love rowing through the gears of this car. And really, all of this stuff together, when you package it all together, it's unbeatable. I can't see a car today in 2022 that makes me say, I want to upgrade to that car. And when my wife convinced me out of it, out of selling it and me returning the deposit to the buyer, she asked me this question, what car would you get then if you sold this car? And I looked at the entire market. And regardless of the price range, and by the way, I can't afford like a brand new Lamborghini, whatever it is, but regardless of the price range, there was nothing that made me want to get another one or a different car. 420 horsepower, about 450 horsepower on mine, but it came 420 from the factory. I have a stage 2 tune from Bill Sanderson in Garage Autosport, so this car is making a little bit more power and torque. But 420, 450 horsepower is more than you need on the streets, on the track to have fun. Yes, if you're, you know, a speed demon and you want more, go get the V10 version of this car. But this is the V8, the 420 horsepower V8, and it just sings. Look, the engine just... engine just roars. Really just roars. Also, have a full Valvetronic custom exhaust on this car. If you haven't seen those videos, make sure to check it out in the card above. I'm not going to turn it on because you're not going to be able to hear me, but right now it's off, but then it's on. Sounds pretty good. Let's turn that off. It's just an all-around amazing package. When I think about, do I need to sell this car? How do I sell this car? I just don't see an option in the market today for me to replace this car. And that's really one of the reasons why I'm keeping it. It's such a great package. It's truly going to be the last of its kind. Audi is discontinuing the Audi R8. So this is not only the last Audi R8, it's the last internal combustion engine Audi R8 Audi will ever make. And they truly, you know, hit a home run with the design of this car. The interior, the exterior, the performance, the timeless design. Not even just the design that's timeless, quite honestly. The entire package of the car is just perfection. The entire package of the performance is all there. The fact that you can do all of these things caters to a lot of different needs of what people want in a car. So that's the other interesting thing. Not only is there demand from people that want to take this car to the track, there's a lot of demand from people that just want to have a beautiful supercar to go, you know, on brisk summer drives in their favorite winding roads, and they'll pick this car up, or they'll want this car. So really, Audi made a car that's really, really hard for owners to sell. It's very hard for me to sell this car. Actually, I'm also on the R8 Talk forum. It's very little in terms of inventory that's out on the market. You know, not many people are selling these cars for a few reasons. One, most of these buyers, they buy this car because they love it for one reason or another. It could be the Iron Man movie. They love the looks. They love the performance. All these different pieces. But number two, as well, is that they've been appreciating in value. And that's, you know, outside of the craziness that's happened with COVID. They've been appreciating in value before that. COVID kind of obviously bumped that up a notch as well. And I don't see these things coming back down in price. Maybe a little bit. Maybe we'll see a little bit of a discount, but realistically, I think these are going to continue to be highly sought after cars, and a lot of people are going to want these. They truly bring a unique experience, and I've driven lots of amazing cars, by the way, not just the cars I've owned. A lot of my friends are lucky enough to have really awesome cars. You know, Honda S2000, McLaren 540C, Porsche Cayman GT4, you know, a whole bunch of these cars, and I'm just really lucky that I've been able to experience them all. And I can tell you, from that perspective, every car is unique in a certain way. What's unique about this car is that it's excellent in almost everything. It really is excellent in almost everything. And there may be cars that have that extra above and beyond uniqueness that's beyond excellent. The Honda S2000, what engine revs beyond 9,000 RPM from a four-cylinder? Not many. To make that much power from a four-cylinder to rev that high, that's part of the experience. I think the Audi R8 really checks all the buckets when you're looking for performance, you know, the feeling that you get driving this car. One thing that's hard to take away is the 6-speed manual transmission. Manuals are dead. We're talking about just manuals. Manual transmissions are basically dead. They're not going to be coming back in the future. But a gated 6-speed manual transmission is a unique experience. You know, I've made other videos on this transmission, and it's really kind of like a bolt-action rifle. And I love that, especially when you're driving around. You know, this is my weekend warrior, you know, going here and there maybe once in a while to do like daily driver duties, and just having this manual transmission here, really fun, makes the entire experience way more engaging. And then reliability on this car as well, because it has an Audi RS4 engine, that, you know, manufactured V8, the mass manufactured V8. It's proven reliable, this car. Not many problems with this car. I've made a video on that as well, so make sure you check out those videos. But essentially, the only Achilles heel that this car has was the magnetic ride suspension, which all of them fail. It's a manufacturing defect. And really, once it's been replaced and fixed, it's not an issue anymore. So, honest to God, it's truly a car that ticks all of the boxes. Usually, these supercars, there's one box that's like, oh no, it failed there. whether it's reliability or daily drivability or whatever it is. But this car doesn't have that problem. This car is just check marks all around. You know, even for the interior, while it is old, obviously it's 2008, doesn't have the latest tech stuff. You just stick your phone up on here with a, you know, one of those magnetic phone holders, bang. You have all your entertainment with a Bluetooth adapter into the auxiliary. Like, what more do you need? Like, this is not going to be your car that you take for a 6-hour road trip where you want to watch Netflix on something when you're parked on the side of the road or whatever it is. It gives you all your, you know, entertainment needs that you need for 2022. You keep this awesome. By the way, the interior, well, the technology's dated. The interior has actually lived up quite well. Full leather everywhere. Leather dash, leather seats, heated seats, fully adjustable electronic, all of this stuff. So really, the interior is still quite detailed and quite luxurious as well. And so all of this together really gives you a car that is perfect. This is the perfect car. If you're looking for a supercar, you buy this car. There's not one thing in this car that makes me says, oh, I want to sell it because this thing annoys me or that thing annoys me. That's actually not what's happened in the last 4 years of ownership. You know, maybe I'm just insane, and maybe I'm one of those romantics that are falling in love and all of this stuff, but you know, after 4 years you think you get sick of a car, and I don't. I go into my garage like a sicko and I literally look at it before I go to bed sometimes just to make sure that it's okay. Now, I may have a problem, but that isn't something that I would do for the other cars necessarily. So this car is definitely special. I think it's something unique. I've been loving it, and honestly, I don't think I can ever sell it. You know, knock on wood, unless something financially happens that's crazy, I will never try to sell this car. And I think Audi made probably one of the most unsellable cars in the market. So let me know your thoughts. Do you agree with me? What do you guys think about this car? Also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. More on this car coming up, and a lot more if you want to follow me on my journey. Anything to do with cars, motorcycles, detailing, motorsports, F1. I cover it all on this channel, so make sure you follow along and subscribe. And tell me what you think. If you have this car, could you potentially sell it? What's the Achilles heel for you? And maybe you have a car that you think is like unsellable. Let me know what you guys think that car is. I know for my Lexus, I gave an example. I think that's the ultimate, you know, budget, luxury, daily driver sedan. And I think this car is probably one of the best daily driver supercars out in the market and that's ever been created. So if you want to follow along, see what happens with this car 5 or 10 years from now, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.